one of my quotes, it states, "Always remember, the tides of life flows in and out. Don't quit." Although something may appear one way today that's less desirous for you, it will not always be that way. There's something about life that changes. Life is seasonal. It never stays the same, our circumstances. There has to be something within you that burns hotter than the cold, desolate situation that you may currently find yourself in. You must have some focus or some sense of being or worth that burns within you, that helps you to not quit. One way you could help yourself persevere, endure, or overcome a presently undesirable situation is to bring to remembrance some of your past victories or things you have overcome in your life. This will certainly help you to place the current situation in its proper perspective. There's sometimes when things happen to us, we forget about all of the good things that we have, well, not good, but all of the things that we've overcome in our life. There's always something we could refer back to help us place the present situation in its proper perspective. I remember some years ago, my mentor told me that nothing is as bad as it first appears. You may need to work on cultivating the proper response to situations when faced with a difficult situation. There's this technique that you can try. It's like stop, think, then react. You're slowing yourself down to really get rid of cognitive distortions. You stop, think, then react. This will help you to process your situation more appropriately and to not overreact. If you're a person who overreacts, you will find out that your mood is constantly vacillating throughout every situation you may find yourself in. Stay level-headed and remember that everything begins and ends with you, how you internalize and perceive things. You ever saw or paid attention to your rear view mirror in your car? It says objects may appear closer than they actually are. Sometimes we can amplify things bigger than it really is. But this comes through process. This comes through cultivating things within yourself. You can work towards your reaction to things, but objects may appear closer than they really are. And you may make things larger than they really are. So you must be true to yourself or honest with yourself. If you're going to lie to anyone, make sure it's not to yourself. Never lie to yourself, or in that matter, there's no need to lie to anyone else either. Make sure that quitting is not an option for you in the pursuit of your dreams and your goals. Take quitting off of the table, because anything that's on the table, you at some point will reach for it. If the situation gets tough enough, you will reach for it. But take quitting off of the table. Make that not one of your options. Burn the proverbial bridge that would link you to the second option. of your past. There's only one option, one way that you want to go. It's like a teenager who leaves their childhood home in pursuit of their dream and constantly finds themselves returning to their parents' home throughout the years, like a revolving door. When something bad happens, they revert back to home because they have that as an option, as a safe haven. But if this was not an option, they would develop their strength during the hard times of their lives to persevere during the hard times and ultimately overcome whatever obstacles they are facing. If you look at the sparrow fledging, or any bird when they fledge, the fledging process. Now, the fledging process of developing wing is the process of developing wing feathers large enough to fly. And it's usually completed within 14 to 17 days after hatching. The young are capable of more or less sustained flight upon fledging. They stay with adult males for a few days, then they gather with other young into foraging and roosting flocks. They are independent and feeding themselves within 7 to 10 days after leaving the nest. They know their survival is resting on their ability to fly, not their ability to return back to the nest, but their ability to move forward. I know sometimes the way that we are raised plays a part in our psyche, in the way we think, our persuasion. If you were more sheltered or never had to endure anything difficult in your life, when you become an adult or of age and are faced with difficulty, it's almost like a shock to the system because it's an all new experience. So endurance and persistence must be developed within that person compared to someone who had to endure hardship at some point in their life. Their muscle of endurance has been strengthened more compared to the person who has not had to endure difficulty. And difficulty could be anything from death of an important figure in your life, health issues, parents' divorce, poverty, being bullied, being verbally, physically abused, etc. If you are able to overcome anything previously in your life, use it as fuel to help you to continue on your life's journey. And you know that our subconscious mind has the pattern, it has the influence, it has the rhythm that constantly shows up in our life. So we can influence it by remembering and persuading ourselves of what we want to experience. Even thinking of something that has happened previously, our subconscious mind does not know the difference, whether it's real or imagined. So we could take our lives in the direction we want to. I remember seeing an interview of the world-renowned poet Maya Angelou, and she was telling her story during an interview about how when she was 7.5 years old, she was molested. And the police officer came to their house and she overheard him talking to her grandmother while she was playing in the room. And he told her grandmother that they had found the person who molested her dead. And because of that, she did not speak for the next 6 years besides, she said, occasionally communicating with her brother that she really was a close friend to her. She thought her voice would go around killing people because she told and that person was found dead. She equated it to her voice doing that, although her voice was a gift, actually. However, during that time period, she did write all the time, she said. What would have happened if she just simply gave up? The world would have been desolate of her poetry and its impact on countless people in the world. She would have robbed the world of her greatness. Sometimes your greatest gift may be challenged in your lifetime before you ever get started, for whatever reason. But if you can overcome it, it would yield all of the great rewards that it could bring in your life and help others to overcome. I haven't read all of her poetry, but I know her poetry has helped so many people to inspire other people, to give them hope. And that was challenged at a young age, but she had to overcome it. She endured, she persevered, and she ultimately became victorious over that situation. Perhaps there's something that happened in your childhood or when you were a teenager, and it was a challenge to your gift to make you stop talking, to make you stop communicating, to make you stop expressing yourself in a way that would help others. Perhaps your greatest gift is being a writer, and something happened when you were in grade school with your writing, or someone said something really bad and it hurt your feelings. So now you don't allow anyone to see your writings. But your writing's supposed to be helpful and inspiring to other people, entertain other people. But you have to overcome it. You have to take one step at a time so that you could be the greatest you. Because right now you have quit. But this podcast, the title is Don't Quit. So get back into the race of your life and don't quit. Be courageous. Be strong again. Try again. That's writing, but it could be anything. Really anything, because we have various gifts, dominant gifts. Now a person could have more than one gift, but we only have one dominant gift. So the dominant gift, if you work with your dominant gift, it will cause a domino effect, so to speak. Like if you know the tennis players, Serena Williams and her sister Venus Williams, they are great tennis players. That's their greatest gift. But they have other gifts too. They have a gift of clothing or designing. So their dominant gift makes room for them. It causes you to be in a space where you could express more of yourself. But you must utilize your dominant gift first. So don't quit on your dominant gift. I remember hearing the story of Tyler Perry. He was doing plays. He began doing plays, and he had to endure because it seemed like every play that he did, it wasn't successful. And through time, he just kept doing plays, and he got to a point that he was about to quit, and he said he was going to do one more play. And he did the play, and I think the weather was really bad, and the whole arena or facility that he had rented to do his play was packed. And that caused him to endure more, and his plays became popular, and he's done movies and TV shows and so forth because he didn't quit. He wanted to quit. You might feel like quitting, but don't quit. Take quitting off of the table. Whatever you have to do to move forward, you do that. Now think of yourself if you quit. What will happen if you decide to overcome your present difficulties? Why not just keep trying until you reach your desired goal? There's this quote, all men fall, the great ones get back up again. Try again, get back up again. Don't stop. There's this song, I don't know if you heard it, the lyrics are, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. Don't stop. Be proactive and start the process today, beginning your new mind creation. And remember to join me again next week for an all-new episode.